Gavin Newsom, who is governor of California, was just at Ripple's main office last month. What was talked about? What does California want to do with blockchain? Do they have Ripple's technology and XRP in them? In this video, we'll talk about that. I have a lot of information for you that will be coming out. This is important because California has the fourth biggest economy in the world. This is true, even though I love my home state of California and the people who live there. When the US is worth $29 trillion, China is worth, as long as the governor of the largest economy in the US meets with the Ripple team, other governors and city and state leaders may do the same. So we want to know, what were the most important things that were said, and what do you hope will happen in the future? Let's get this started. On June 6th, 2025, Governor Gavin Newsom of California held a meeting at Ripple City Hall in San Francisco. The event was the first meeting of California's Breakthrough Project, a new government project that brings state operations up to date with the help of top executives from the tech and financial industries. It was the goal of these talks to start the California Breakthrough Project. To guide and speed up the state's efficiency plan, the governor put together an advisory group of top tech leaders, including executives from Ripple, Coinbase, MoonPay, Snap Inc., Instacart, and other tech companies. So the main things they're working on here are finding operational efficiencies in state government and suggesting technology-based ways to improve public sector processes and service delivery, looking into how blockchain and current payment systems could help the government run more efficiently, safely, and openly. In this case, Ripple or the XRP system could definitely play a big part, making sure that government workers have a say in the development process and that it is completely open and follows ethical rules. Things talked about here. To improve government efficiency, the expert group talks about ways to make state agency work more efficiently by learning from the tech industry's progress in automation, AI, and operational scaling. The use of technology in this case, and the part that blockchain technology played in keeping state financial data and transactions up to date and safe. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that when you update your driver's license, car registration, pay fines, or do anything else in California, a lot of things happen. Could we help people do that more easily? Can we get people to do it for less money? Can we shorten the time it takes for the state to get those funds? The state could then use that money to improve roads, parks, neighborhoods, and other things. The use of digital wallets and smooth payment systems will make it easier for people in California to use government services. When you work with people from different industries, you can create relationships that lead to new ideas in areas like wildlife management, Department of Motor Vehicles, and other services. It's really funny. I didn't read this before I spoke, right? Because I want to share this with you while it's still fresh and raw. Thus, you can see how I feel as I go through some of this stuff. And it's funny that the one thing I did say we did is on this page. Both of them were updated with new technology during Newman's term. The group talked about policy and moral issues and stressed how important it is for the state to accept new tech-based solutions that are open, involve staff, and follow moral guidelines. So here are the people who are taking part. First, there is Governor Gavin Newsom, and then there are the leaders led by Chris Larsson. That's great. That's great to see. Bitcoin MoonPay on the drill. Is this the defense company? I believe it is. It includes Instacart, Snappy Inc., and well-known backers like Ron Conway and Ashish Burla. Wow, so you also have some, multi-billionaires there. All of these talks are important because they show that California is still trying to use its status as a global tech hub to bring outdated government processes up to date through public-private partnerships. As soon as possible, new executive orders will be issued telling state departments to speed up efforts to save money and encourage the use of technology at all levels. That's really cool. Eleanor Tarrant wrote about this for X, and a lot of what she wrote was pretty much the same as what I just read to you. I don't want to waste your time by reading this again. However, you may pause it and only look at this in this moment. I did see that Ripple is also asking for a MECA license so that XRP and RLUSD can be used as payment methods in the EU. So I wanted to find out some more important facts about this, which is why I threw it into confusion. Now let's go. Ripple's plan for strategic EU growth in full. What's going on? Ripple, the company that created the XRP cryptocurrency, is planning a big move into Europe to grow. Specifically, Ripple is trying to get a markets and crypto assets MiCA license in the European Union. It is launching its enterprise-grade stablecoin RLUSD from Luxembourg and wants to create a crypto passport regulatory approval in Luxembourg that would allow it to work in all 30 EU countries. In this case, Ripple wants to do everything. I'm not sure why I said that. That might only be true in California. Anyway, this will allow Ripple to enter these 30 countries and work the same way they did in the US as a bank or payment infrastructure business. So this will really help get more people to use both the Ripple stablecoin and XRP too. If that is on the XRP ledger and the trades are in RLUSD, then XRP will be needed as the gas token. We can get more people to buy and sell our coins, and possibly the price will go up if the coins are more stable. I believe that's what everyone here is crossing their fingers, toes, and eyes for. Because of this, MiCA markets in crypto asset regulation, in April 2023, this bill was signed into law. It began to work at the end of 2024. It sets up a set of comprehensive unified rules for companies that deal in digital assets across the EU. Don't forget that Tether hasn't shown a report that they have one-to-one backing. In the European Union, you are not allowed to trade Tether. Also doesn't work. Once the rules are made official, it won't be allowed in the US. So Ripple could be very important to the growth of stablecoins, whether they're US dollar stablecoins, euro stablecoins, or pound stablecoins. They can do anything they want with this. A crypto company can offer its services to the rest of the EEA once it has been registered in a member state. This makes MiCA the hub for truly European crypto services. Just why Luxembourg? That is a great question. Many big companies like Coinbase and Bitstamp have already gotten MiCA licenses in Luxembourg, which is quickly becoming a center for crypto law. Ripple has set up Ripple Payments Europe SA in Luxembourg so that it can do business in the EU. Sources in the industry say that Ripple has filed for an electronic money institution license and an EMI in Luxembourg. This is the first step that needs to be taken to comply with MiCA for operations across the EU. So what will happen next with RLUSD? RLUSD Ripple stablecoins are tied to US dollars and are fully backed by cash and cash equivalents, which are things like government bonds or other securities. They were first released in the US, but they were closely watched by the New York Department of Financial Services. The RLUSD is now being set up to roll out through the EEA as long as MiCA gives its approval. RLUSD is now live on the world's biggest platforms, and it can work with both the XRP ledger and the Ethereum blockchain. Its long-term goals are to become a major player in global finance by focusing on building trust with regulators, banks, and governments, and to make more people use XRP through strong legal compliance and business partnerships instead of marketing campaigns based on hype. It also wants to become fully regulated across Europe so it can be used by anyone, and it wants to offer regulated crypto payments and stablecoin products to institutions and individuals. Clear rules of transparency have always been more important to Ripple than short-term marketing wins or marketing games. So, we talked about how Ripple works. There are a few clips here, one from Brad Garlinghouse and one from David Schwartz. We don't really talk about that a lot. I'll play this for you now. Banks. It's hot when you close a deal with the bank, and we do that sometimes, but they're very careful, so they move very slowly. That's not going to happen, and it's hard to get them to share the benefits with their customers because it's risky for them. It shows them where they're not working as well as they could. Okay. At first, we focused a lot on banks because a press release from a bank is a big deal. But we found that banks are very slow to if all they want is a press release. We're now saying, hey, we want to move billions of dollars. They say, yeah, we don't really. It's really strange that David Schwartz leaves his group. That sounds like the bow bump you hear. Those are direct messages on Discord. I turned everything off. I can't hand. Every video clip I see of him has those things on, which I can't stand. In the next post, Mikkel shared this 27-second video clip where he talks about Brad Garlinghouse. Banks don't like Swift. He is saying this, not me. Henry, come on.